Hey folks, how you doing? Now in this video I'd like to show you how to change the background image of the slide. Now this example here we're using just a gradient background, a set of pictures that just slightly change the lighting effect in the background so it's sort of lighter up top on this particular slide. We go to the next slide and it will show you that the lighting changes just a little bit. There it is right there. It comes down from the bottom. All we do is we just change the background image when the slide changes. Now you can have any sort of background image in here that you want, but there's just two sort of important, somewhat advanced things that I'm going to mention. The background image that we use in this particular template here, because it's a gradient type background, there's no actual real solid visual in the background image. We're going to allow the CSS to what we call cover or entirely cover the background of the page. The size of the background image that you see here, this gray black thing, is 1680 by 600 pixels. Your replacement image should be, for best results, stick to the 1680 by 600 or so. You can go up to 2000 if you want to, and that'll work very well. But we've set it so that this background image will completely fill up the entire width of the page and the entire height of the tilt slider container that you see right here. So no matter how big or small the browser is, it's just going to stretch or shrink that background image to fit nicely. Now if you had a background image with a real clear picture, you may not want it to scale up and down with the page. You just may want it to sort of fill out whatever available space there is, and I'm going to show you how to make that change as well. And it's only for those folks that want to change the background picture and have the background picture be as clear as possible. So I'll show you how to do that. But first, let me show you how to change the picture you see right here. Let's jump into Dreamweaver and let's go right to our tilt slider library page and open it up. Now there's also the images folder, and in here we have the tilt BG 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, just so you know where those images come from, and you can actually see them in the page as well. As you know, starting at the top, that's the background image for the first slide. Scroll on down, right? Background image here for the second slide and whatnot. If we flip over to the code view, right? Easiest thing to do is just select the background image you want to change. Just click on it with your mouse. Flip over to code view, and it's going to be selected in the code for you. And just right here, you can just change the name of the image. You could also do the old double click, right, to open up the select image source, and you can go through and, you know, select a different image like so. If you wanted to do that, that would be fine as well. It's really up to you. Okay, and that changes the image, so you can do it in code or design view, right? And that's probably the fastest and easiest way to go and change your background images. Like I said, size-wise, try to go as big as possible. So 1680 is a good size. That's a good average size to go with. 1680 pixels wide by, you know, maybe 600 pixels tall. But let me show you exactly how tall you'll need, or how tall it will need to be. By opening up the CSS folder in the tilt slider CSS, right here at the very top we have a height. That's the height that defines the tilt slider. Make sure your image is at least as tall as the height is for the slider. Okay. Now I talked a little bit earlier about using the background image so it either scales completely or it will just repeat itself in the background. Well, we're going to scroll on down here a little bit to about line. We're coming up to it close here. There it is right there, line 138. See the background size of cover? If you have that, if that's in part of your style sheet, what that means is it's going to take the image and just make it fill whatever space is available. So if you want a really crisp, clear background image, in other words, you're not using some sort of a gradient like we're using, get rid of that style and just let the image fill up the full screen. And if you're going to do that, I suggest you go with a larger image size, something like 2000 pixels wide, so that it's going to cover the full spectrum of browsers out there.